little more.
How about in major?
Yeah. Oh.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. So good to see you all, and so good to have everybody popping into the room with that glorious music that was going on in the background. That was so much fun. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Saturday. One day before our 300th day celebration of singing together. So amazing to see all of these faces that have become so familiar over the last 300 days. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody on Facebook, and welcome to everybody in here. Good morning and hello to Deborah in Kentucky, Nicola in the UK. It's a good evening to you. Hello, Dennis in Vancouver. Hello, Sandy. Hello in the Yukon. Mac, hello. Nice to see you today. Hello to Renata. Glad you're back with us again, Renata from Wisconsin. Sue in California. Hello, Susan in Ohio. Trish in BC. Carolyn in Idaho. Doug in Vermont. Isabel in Florida. Hello, Arlene in California. Sarah in Texas. Hello, Christiana and Bob. Good to see you both. Hello, Dan in Virginia. Caroline in the DMV. Bonnie in Idaho. Hello, Hindi in Toronto. Kathleen in Albuquerque. Hello, Busy Graham, Carpe Diem Arts. Lynn in Connecticut. Hello, Maggie. Nice to have you with us today. And Beth in Kentucky. Jenny in Victoria. Tom in Victoria. Lisa in Indiana. Hello, Nancy and her Irish cow in Washington. Hi, Deli in Maryland. Anne in the DMV. Candace, hello, nice to see you. And Luda in Victoria, Kevin in New Hampshire, Bob and Mabel in Mass. Hello, Martha in Oregon. Hello, Gary. Hello, Molly, Graham, Hickman. Nice to see you today, coming in from Blacksburg. Glad you're here. Hello, Jane in DC and Jamie in Victoria. And lots of folks still coming in or off video, Sid and Doug and Kathy and Catherine. And who's that? Atumi, I don't know you yet. Nice to see you. And Gwen and Jane. And lots of other folks. So glad you guys are all here today. Thank you so much for joining us on this happy Saturday. Really nice to have a room full of 60 people ready to listen to some great music and to sing along with some great, great new guys who are here in this room with us for the first time. So a couple of quick announcements before I start. If you're new to us, we're here every day at noon Eastern time, singing one song together. And as I said, we're going to be celebrating 300 days of doing that tomorrow. And I know we have folks in the room who are new to us today, and also still folks who are finding us through the Washington Post article from the day before yesterday. So glad to have new folks in our community. Welcome. Thanks for joining us, and hope you'll keep sticking around and singing with us day after day. We have had over 100 song leaders to date, and we love to have new song leaders, and then we love to repeat them. So there's a little like poke at Benedict and Armand over there. All right, so lyrics will be in the chat as always, and donate link also in the chat. All the money that comes into the program through donations goes directly to the artists. And my email in the chat if you want to get on our Daily Antidote email list. And a big thank you to Aaron, who's running the tech today. So glad you're here, Aaron. Thank you. And I would like to introduce, coming in from Rhode Island. So I put in the email for anybody who saw it, the funny little way they explain their name on their website. I thought that was very, very clever. Vox Hunters, and then the little explanation of Fox and Vox. And if you didn't read the email today, you have to check that out or check out their website. Their links are also in the chat. So the Vox Hunters coming in from Rhode Island are Armand, Aromin, and Benedict Gagliardi. And I'm so super glad to have you guys with us today. Welcome. Tell us about your song and roll it on out.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, yeah. Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, we're glad to be part of this amazing geographical spread that's represented here. We had to represent Rhode Island, I guess.
Yeah, we love what you've done with the place.
So it would probably be most in fad and popular to do a sea shanty right now since they're taking over the world, but we're going to refrain since everyone else has that covered and do something completely unusual, a botanical, environmental, ecological, imagined story song. And we kind of put the story based on watching a naturalist named Doug Elliott, who lives down in North Carolina. He's an amazing herbalist guy and wild forager and also harmonica player and songwriter. He does these little videos about various types of plants that you could go out and forage and harvest and stuff. So we made up the story sort of about him. If you know him, don't tell him yet. But it takes a different song that has a great chorus. And the chorus is one of those nonsense choruses, but it's fun to sing. The words are Rattle to me, Ginseng, Rattle to me, Ginseng Davy. That's the name of the song, Ginseng Davy.
So let's try this. Let's do one verse, go into the chorus, and then sing the chorus, and then we'll teach it really quick.
Okay, let's just la 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 the chorus. We don't give away the story quite yet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Da, 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 da. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng, Davy. Repeat. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng, Davy. That's all it is. Let's do it again to get a little slower.
Yeah, us first, then you guys. Okay.
Rattle me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng, Davy. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng, Davy.
Now everybody. Rattle
to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng, Davy. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng, Davy.
The chorus comes up many times. You'll get many chances. So let's try it.
Pay close attention for an unusual story. The woods so bravely. He is an herbal hero and they call him Ginseng Davy. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng Davy. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng Davy. He knows the woods, he knows the wind, he knows each street and mountain. And as he trods the underbrush, it's gin slants he's counting. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng Davy. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng Davy. Well, a poacher man came over the hill like a bear to the scent of honey. He came to snatch the ginseng up and turn it into money. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng Davy. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng Davy. To find the root that is so rare, need someone to guide me. Bring me wild naturalist, call him Ginseng Davy. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng Davy. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng Davy. Pay me, you will not extirpate this with the help of Ginseng Davy. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng Davy. Rattle to me, ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me, ginseng Davy. For ginseng it is precious rare, takes many years to blossom. Before I'll lead you to just one, I'll stick you like a possum. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. I'll ask again, the poacher's head is grinning in ashes. Show me where the ginseng grows, or I'll burn these woods to ashes. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Oh, at this threat he was obliged to lead the expedition, but Davy had a secret plan to spoil his poacher's mission. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Davy and the poacher wended miles from where they started, deeper in the dark and dim where no map ever charted. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. The light of day had slipped away and darkness corresponded. The frightened poacher sought his guide, but Davy had absconded. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Dark and dreary was the night, oh how it rained and thundered. In time the poacher was reclaimed by the forest that he plundered. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Oh, rattle me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle, rattle to ginseng Davy.
Woo.
Armand and Benedict, thank you so much. That was so much fun, lots of energy, and sometimes it's really nice actually to have an easy chorus where we all just get to sort of sit along and repeat the same thing and listen to the instruments and your voices a little bit more. That was really fun. Thank you so, so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us and singing along.
So it was fun. There was also folks playing along. I don't know if you could see it on your screen, but other folks had their instruments out and they were jamming. It was very, very cool.
It's an infectious melody.
Yeah, sure is. So we were talking a little bit ahead of time about the song and how you wrote it and sort of what was going on and process and thoughts. And I'd love to hear some more about it and think everybody else would too.
Sure, yeah. If you recognize, the Davy character, and you might recognize this actual song, this melody comes from a song called Ginseng Davy, which is a word-of-mouth corruption of what is recognized as a pejorative term, Gypsy Day, which is a very, very old, very widespread song. But the term gypsy is a pejorative term for Romani people. And so there's a lot of cultural tension that has arisen in recent years over how to deal with this word that is ingrained into many folk songs, the titles of tunes and things, and
people's pets' names.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, so it's a strange level of discomfort, and there's lots of ways to deal with these things. One is to first recognize what it is and do your to not spread a harmful stereotype. And in the folk world, naturally things that are not enjoyed by everyone don't make it through. It's kind of the natural selection in a way that some words get changed by random mutation, people remembering them wrong, or people choosing to change them. So the original story, if you don't know it, is noble woman leaves her castle and her husband to go away with the Romani folk, who one guy she falls in love with, and the Lord chases her down, and she says, "Nah, I don't want to come back to the castle. Kind of like this life better," which is itself a pretty interesting story. But it does frame the Romani folk as the thieves, the stealers, the people to fear. So hearing that story over and over gets a little boring. But then seeing the transition of that term to become Gypsum Davy, the first time I came across that song, I thought, what, is this a song about geology? That's so cool. But it's not, it's just a random word. So we kind of had a thought experiment of what might happen next if we were to mishear this gypsum, how about ginseng? And it just happened that we were watching these videos of this guy, this naturalist named Doug Elliott, who if you've never seen his videos, they're fantastic, very informative.
And he's a folk musician.
Great folk musician, great harmonica player, great storyteller, really. And he goes over the history of plants from the information that he's got from native folks that inhabited the area of North Carolina where he lives, and everyone who knows something about that stuff. But he talks about which is a plant that I know of, but I didn't really think about that much. I mean, just think of it as a Chinese herbal medicine plant.
Yeah, I associate that with, like, you know, growing up going to our local Asian grocery store and just seeing the ginseng, like, behind the counter.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, that is an expensive looking mandrake root.
But so, I mean, it turns out ginseng, the Chinese species of ginseng, has been used since like the 900s for herbal medicine. But in the 1700s, it was realized that there's an American species, the American ginseng, I can't remember the scientific name, but it grows all along eastern North America, from down south all the way up into Canada. Some of you folks are up there. It's even here in Rhode Island, and it's not nationally listed as a threatened species or an endangered species, but state by state it is. So here in Rhode Island, it's an endangered species. In certain areas, it's extirpated, and the reason is because it takes a really long time to grow the root. So it takes about 5 to 10 years to get a root big enough for harvesting. And if you take the whole plant out, then you have that plant. You harvest the seeds of the leaves, then it's more sustainable. So there are ginseng hunters, ginseng poachers that will go and totally wipe out an entire area, essentially extirpating that plant. So I guess the bottom line of this is we took the difficult, creative, demanding route of dealing with a song lyric that we didn't like. We didn't like singing a pejorative term, so we imagined a total different story with that melody, and retained the chorus, originally Rattle to be some gypsum. But that's so fun thing we could not sing the song.
Yeah, and the melody is so groovy.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
That's great. Thanks, guys. Super, super great. So just a quick note that we are definitely going to be excited to have you guys back. I don't know if other folks can hear it. There's like an echoey thing happening. Yeah. Okay. So it's, for some reason, your computer is repeating some of your sounds. It's actually entirely cool, and it sounds like we're making an entirely new kind of music. But it's doing a funny thing where it's repeating some of your words, or I'm not sure what, but we don't mind. We can understand you, and we're going to sing again with you, so we don't actually care. But it's and it's lovely to be spending this time in the room with you.
Wait, so while we were playing as well?
Yeah.
I'm gonna click one button and just see if this helps.
Okay.
Built-in microphone.
Is this any better?
Hello.
So far.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We got shrugs and thumbs up. So, well, we'll keep it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll go with that.
So far, actually, I'm not hearing the echo, or like the repeat. So let's keep trying on this. That would be really, really awesome.
Okay. Cool.
So let's see, there was something in the chat that I was going to read. In the meantime, actually, can you guys just chat for a minute about your sort of how you've been dealing with the pandemic and or the political landscape of, the last 11 months, and in particular the last month?
Yeah. So for me, my day-to-day sort of hasn't changed because I'm a violin maker by day, so I'm actually off the clock right now, or I'm playing hooky. Not really, but my workshop is just across from our bedroom, And so I've been doing that since, 2015 or 16 or whenever we moved to this apartment. Anyway, so that hasn't changed too much. But then, outside of that, we're always driving around to teach lessons, to go to gigs or go to shows, all the usual stuff. And so that's definitely been a bit of a bummer. But, we've been managing to make it work. And thankfully, we're both still employed. I'm self-employed, so I'm saying I'm employed and making some sort of income. And I've been doing a lot of teaching online recently. So that's kind of been keeping my side of the rent afloat, the rent check afloat.
I mean, the biggest obvious and community shared gripe that we have is this is great. Thank you all for daring to sit at your computer in a weird situation and communicate with people and share music and stuff. It's so great that we all can do this, but we all understand that it doesn't even compare to being in the same place with a group of people sharing the same experiences. So for the last 4 years, we've hosted a pub sing in Providence, which we gather with a bunch of folks of a whole wide variety of everything, and we just sing songs a cappella and drink beer and eat pizza, and it's the most fantastic essential part of our weekly schedule. So not having that is challenging.
Yeah, and I guess it turns out we're more introverted than we thought, because when the pandemic started, we're just like, oh, we don't have to do anything tonight again? Okay. But we've been in this for a while, so now it's definitely started to take a toll on us. There have definitely been a few points, especially after New Year's, and then after the inauguration, I was like, oh, thank God, finally, I can feel like I can breathe a little bit better. But then I don't know, there's just kind of a dark cloud in my mind. I was just so tired.
So I was going to say that touches on a lot of different things. So for one is that as I may have mentioned once or 70 times, we just had an article that came out in the Post, and there was a joke that was in the article that was actually authored by one of the folks in the room, Susan from Ohio, that said, "What do you call 150 Zoom singers? A duet," which is so awesome. And in fact, some folks in the room have written that one of the most glorious things about doing it this way is you really are singing just with the artist. So we miss the concerts, we miss the connection, we miss the human aspects of that. But there's this other thing that's happening in here that's also remarkable and interesting. Not the least of which is that 90% of the people in this room do not actually know each other. And I've never met 90% of the people in this room. This is just a bunch of folks that love to sing and who have been building friendships. And it's really, really cool. And another thing that happened in this room was that we found ourselves a space to be able to talk about anti-racist stuff, which is what I was going to read out of the chat, which is Susan in Seattle said, "I never knew gypsy was a slur. I learned so much history of music and of peoples here every day." And I think that is one of the things that was remarkable about the post-George Floyd murder, is that all of us were learning, and so fast, even those of us who thought we were so in the know, learned so much in this space through the discussion and through the things that artists brought up and the things that people brought up. And it's been really, really beautiful. And I also have I host in here, and it's not unlike my nature at home, where I'm known for throwing a lot of parties all the time and oftentimes large. And what the pandemic did to me, I'm not even sure if this will change, is made me say, oh, actually, I like really small groups of me or me and my one friend.
And my cup of tea.
Yeah.
So we'll see, right? How much it shifts back. Maybe we've all learned to embrace our inner introvert, and maybe a lot of good will come out of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not going to be going out as much as I used to. That is for sure. But one of the nice things, I think, no, not nice, but I think one of the great things about having the internet is that a lot of these resources are accessible for working towards being anti-racist, and also just connecting with everyone across the country or the world. For me, one of the things that I started digging more into is Filipino folk music. So I'm Filipino. I was born in Rhode Island, but my parents are from the Philippines, and I've been able to just like attend a bunch of webinars like that start at 10 a.m. in the Philippines, which means 9 p.m. here, and they go till 1 a.m. It's great. But I've been able to connect with a bunch of Filipino musicians like across the States, and that's been really exciting and also really cool because a lot of similar conversations are happening as far as being anti-racist, even within the Philippines. There's a lot of colorism and just a lot of cultural appropriation with indigenous peoples in the Philippines. So it's kind of cool to see that there are parallels in these discussions.
Actually, that kind of makes me think that one thing that we've been doing more that we don't necessarily do that much is like writing songs and tunes. Like we don't really flaunt our skills as writers of music and lyrics, but all this time to look into other interests and get inspired and find little, funny little corners of music that haven't been explored much and want to either work them up or create something new. That has been a sort of silver lining that came about.
And I think one of the nice things about being in folk music and writing our own songs specifically is being able to put a spotlight on certain topics that don't necessarily get talked about. So things that highlight Filipino cultural things. I recently wrote a Tagalog counting song. I wrote a violin maker's alphabet song. I wrote a song about what happens when your parents keep on asking you when you're going to get a girlfriend. It's a cautionary tale. Actually, if you look, it's on YouTube. If you just look up, what is it?
Have you got a girlfriend yet?
Yeah, have you got a girlfriend yet? It's under the Vox Hunters YouTube channel. I wrote that after being annoyed at a family member.
That's great. Thank you. Actually, Aaron's going to pop that into the chat. Thank you, Aaron, for being on that. So we have time to take just a couple of hands, and I'd love to hear from new people today. If anybody else who isn't always asking questions has anything, otherwise we'll take my same old people because you're good question askers. I do want to say quickly a couple of upcoming events. So we know that tomorrow night there's the Washington Rebels Pub Sing, and Dennis Donnelly and Kathy and Dick have a concert that we announced yesterday, and don't forget about that. And please make sure you read in the chat if I'm missing anything about the upcoming events so that you can see what's going on in there. And I do want to shout out Jim Harkless, who's in the room with us. Hello, Jim. It's so great to see you. And Jim is one of the singers from Jubilee Voices. And Jim is going to be singing with us tomorrow. Is that right, Jim? Is that a thumbs up? Yes. Tomorrow in the room to celebrate our 300th day. And we love singing with Jim. So that's super exciting. So are there any hands? Anybody want to ask a question? Molly Hickman. Oh, wait, I have to make people unmute themselves. So hang on one second. All right, I've pushed the right button.
Hello, wonderful people. I'm so happy to see you. Hi. Hey. I happen to know, and I want to make sure everyone knows that you're both tremendous concertina players too and dancers. And I'm wondering whether you're teaching any of your skills virtually anywhere and how we can keep up with that.
Yeah. Oh, thanks so much for asking and helping promote ourselves. Yeah. So I do more teaching than Ben does, but I teach fiddle. I think maybe just general fiddle, Irish, a bit of old time singing and fiddling. I haven't done that yet. Teaching wise, I play English concertina. I also teach ukulele, specifically clawhammer ukulele, which is just a random thing that I got into. I haven't really done any percussive dance teaching because I live on the second floor. just out of respect and courtesy for my neighbors. I also play tin whistle. Yeah.
And I haven't done any Zoom teaching, but I suppose I would be capable of Anglo concertina and harmonica. That would be interesting to try to imagine through Zoom, but anything's possible, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I also like teaching harmony and music theory.
Say that again.
I also like teaching harmony and music theory.
Yeah, that would be really hard through Zoom, huh?
I managed to make it work.
You do? Oh, wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So one of the things I think that's great is the way that we harmonize on things in Zoom, even when they're not supposed to be harmonies necessarily, even when the harmony that we're making is just the simplest thing of going, you know, up or down one little fifth or whatever, just something so that we're able to hear those harmonies, because that's definitely the piece that's quite missed for a lot of us, is that being able to make that beautiful blend where you hear that thing happening. That so let's see, is there anybody else with a question? I'm looking around for hands, and if you have a hand, you can wave at me, and if you do not have a hand, I will Busy Graham.
Hi,
Hello.
Armand and Ben, it's so great to see you again. And I'm just so curious as to how you cross paths with Doug Elliott, who I know from my North Carolina CeeLo days at Arthur Morgan School decades ago, when he still had his possum named Blossom.
Oh.
Him everywhere he went. And actually I'm going to see if we can bring him into the Community Family Sing on February 21st, especially if you can join us.
That'd be great.
Wow.
Molly said you do a great rendering of Oh Groundhog, is that true?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
We offer our
Groundhog
first
Day
album.
is February 2nd, so we need that as part of our February offerings.
Oh, that'd be so fun. I mean, I came across Doug through
The YouTube algorithm.
the YouTube algorithm, sure, yeah. But I mean, I in the background, I'm an entomologist, so I studied insects, and I've been researching folk songs that have to do with insects and looking up stuff like that. Inevitably, I found some of Doug's albums about, you know, crawdads and greasy greens and you know, all kinds of stuff like that. And I was just completely enamored with everything that he does. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And I sent him a couple emails about, hey, do you know any songs about, you know, ladybugs or something? And he just seems like a very, very nice guy. I've never actually met him, but I'd love to someday.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So, but did you say that he's not heard the song yet?
I may have mentioned in an email like, oh, I really like that ginseng video, and I may have written a song about it. Maybe someday I'll be bold enough to share it with you. Maybe I should.
Oh, well, we should send him to the Facebook archive.
Yeah.
He'll be so excited.
Oh, I think it should be done. Yeah. Oh, and that lets me say one thing. There is one lyric in here that does not make biological sense, and it is the best line. Ginseng, it is very rare. It takes many years to blossom before I'll lead you to just one. I'll stick you like a possum. Ginseng takes many years to grow the root, but it does flower sooner than that. So
Oh, it's on record.
it's just,
That's great.
had to do it
Thank-
for the record.
Thank you. Whoop. Is that somebody trying to say something?
It's Harriet. I started to say that I appreciate the truth and transparency of coming back to say it's not quite like that.
Yeah. Sometimes
Truth is good.
Yes, truth is that's what we live by.
Yeah.
So thank you, Harriet. Also, Anna, I see you have a question.
Hi, I'm in the market for a fiddle, and I'm wondering where I might be able to look for yours. / are you playing one that you made?
Yes. So I am playing one that I made when I went to the North Bennett Street School in Boston. Oh God, 2010 to 2013. And I have a number of fiddles actually that I should kind of dust off in my workshop. But if you can get in contact with me through arominviolins.com. Oh, actually in the chat, it's the bottom link there. Are you near Rhode Island?
I'm in Maine, like close to Portland. So yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sweet. Yeah, you're close enough.
Woohoo.
Yeah. So yeah, send me an email and then we can chat about that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and I also do instrument repairs as well. So if anyone has any old fiddles that need some TLC.
Thank you. That's awesome. I love it. So Benedict and Armand, I'm introducing you here to Anna, who just asked you the question. Anna is on the board of the Pinewoods camp, which is in Plymouth, Mass. I'm not sure if you guys know about that. Yep. And Anna, I don't have to tell you who they are because now that's already all known. So thank you, Anna, for a great question. And so it does actually sound like your sound is better now. So I'm wondering if you guys would be willing to go ahead and roll through it again. And anybody who has to go can go, but anybody who can stay gets to hear the whole thing again. And it's Saturday, so where do you really have to go anyway? But
Yeah.
is that all right?
Sure,
Oh,
yeah.
A chance for redemption. Absolutely. Minus, yeah. So this is unfiltered, no effects. We unplugged our pedal.
Oh man.
Let's
naked.
try it.
All right. Off to the mountains.
Yeah, launch into the first verse.
Oh, launch into the first verse as in start singing
that
the
was
first
code
verse.
for start singing.
That's a good code. Yeah, okay. Let's try that again.
Yeah.
In a mountain town there lived a man who guards the woods so bravely. He is an herbal hero and they call him Ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. He knows the woods, he knows the wind, he knows each stream and mountain. And as he trods the underbrush, his ginseng plants he's counting. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Oh, a poacher man came over the hill like a bear to the scent of honey. He came to snatch the ginseng up and turn it into money. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. To find the root that is so rare, I'll need someone to guide me. Bring me the wild naturalist, they call him Ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Instrumental, everyone. I will not be your guide, he said, no matter what you may be. You will not extirpate this plant with the help of Ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. For ginseng is precious rare, takes many years to blossom. Before I lead you to just one, I'll stick you like a possum. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. I'll ask again, the poacher says, his grinning teeth he gnashes. Show me where the ginseng grows, or I'll burn these woods to ashes. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. At the spread he was obliged to lead the expedition, but Davy had a secret plan to spoil this poacher's mission. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Another instrumental. Davy and the poacher wended miles from where they started, deeper in the dark and dim where no map ever charted. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. The light of day had slipped away and darkness corresponded. A frightened poacher sought his guide, but Davy had absconded. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng Davy. Dark and dreary was the night, oh how it rained and thundered. In time the poacher was reclaimed by the forest that he plundered. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng, Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng, Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng, Davy. Rattle to me ginseng, ginseng, rattle to me ginseng, Davy.
Woo!
Woo is right.
Dancers, the ginseng band.
The Ginseng band. Everyone was singing.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. Thank you. And we really did get to hear it better on round 2. So we're all super glad. Yeah.
Yay.
Thank
Never
you.
get played the same way twice.
Thank you, and thank you. So we just interpreted that it was more Murphy's Law, which seems to be the rule of thumb in the pandemic. So when it wasn't working as well in round 1, I just said like, oh, that's what Zoom's decided to do today. So I'm glad we actually managed to thwart Zoom, to outwit it, and to get it right. That's really great. Thank you so much, Armand and Benedict, for being with us today. Can we all please give them a huge thank you? And thank you to all the smiling faces in this room. And I am looking forward to singing with you all tomorrow for our 300th day of being together in this room. And a huge shout out, of course, to Adele, who's actually been here, or when we get here tomorrow, that'll be Adele here for all 300 of the 300 days without a missed day, which is one more than me. Good job. I love it, Adele. That's awesome. All right, gang, I'm so grateful to you all being here. Armand and Benedict, thank you again so much. We are very excited about the possibility of singing with you again sometime soon. And hugs and love to everybody, including goodbye to everybody on Facebook Live. Thank you. Sorry, did you guys want to say goodbye to the gang? I'm still talking so much.
Yeah, this was a sincerely enjoyable Zoom session. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, nice and short and sweet, too.
Yay.
Yeah. Hello, everybody on Facebook.
Hi. Thanks for the great conversation.
Thank you. And actually, goodbye to everybody on Facebook. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow also.